What's going on, everyone? Sebastian here. Today I have a super crazy training for you. Today I'm going to show you the top 5 lessons that I've personally learned from the world's richest man, Jeff Bezos. Now, I had to keep this list pretty short. There are way more than 5 things that I've learned from Jeff Bezos, part of which he really spills the way he thinks in his letters to his shareholders. So if you just Google Jeff Bezos letters to shareholders, you should find a ton of free resources where you can download each and every year that Amazon's been in existence, Jeff Bezos' vision for the future. It's fascinating to really peer into the mind of the world's richest man. And whether you agree with his strategies as an entrepreneur or not, you cannot deny the fact that he's provided tremendous value to the entire world. So this list is going to be short, concise, and I hope you can take away a ton of knowledge from the world's richest man. All right. So the very first thing that's going to be one of the very first lessons that I've learned is frugality. There's a quote by Jeff Bezos where he says, frugality drives innovation. Okay? And so what he's literally saying here, and I thought this was absolutely brilliant, is if you're an Amazon seller, for example, and you have a really good product idea, you want to bring it to the market, but you're having trouble thinking of ways to differentiate yourself. Well, it's sometimes the smallest tweaks that can make all of the difference between you and your competitors. I'll give you an example. With packaging, if you can actually take time to get professional package designs ready and sending them to your manufacturer, in a box or whatever makes sense for your product, and you can include the packaging in your main image, that's going to add so much more perceived value to a customer. Whereas if your competitors, maybe they're sending things in a blank box or poly bag or what have you, you're not necessarily reinventing the wheel, and you're not forking out a ton of cash to get custom moldings and getting a patent pending for a product. There's nothing wrong with that. All I'm saying is, if you're just starting out on Amazon especially, it's sometimes those really small tweaks that make all of the difference between you and your competitors. So take Jeff Bezos' advice. Frugality drives innovation, right? If you don't necessarily have a ton of resources to dispense towards your business at the moment, make those small tweaks right away, right? Add more perceived value than your competitors and see what that does for you in your business. And I thought this was absolutely brilliant. Frugality drives innovation, right? Brilliant. Now, the second one is customer obsession. Okay, so this is by far one of his strongest pieces of philosophy, if you will, that he's passed down. That's literally the lifeblood of Amazon. Is they are obsessed with customer satisfaction. Now, what this does is a few things. One, it ensures that you're not only ahead of the competition, but it also ensures you're giving the marketplace and exactly what they want, and on top of that, surpassing what they're expecting from any sort of company. Because he says in one of his videos that if you can obsess over the customers, it doesn't matter what your competition's doing. They're not paying you. So it's better to focus on the people who are paying you, which are your customers. And I thought that was so brilliant. He's like, who cares what the competition's doing? At the time, Amazon got a lot of flack, Amazon.bomb, Amazon.scam, all of these little things, and where you could really worry and seeing what the competitors are doing, just focus on being the best in your niche and being obsessed with giving customers high quality products and meeting them with great customer service. If you keep it that simple, literally that simple, you will do very well on Amazon. And again, this is directly from Jeff Bezos. Customer obsession. And by having amazing follow-up with the Amazon customers and giving them extremely high quality products and meeting their demands, differentiating your product, you're expanding the customer experience, and you're making it more easy for them to come to your storefront and to want to buy from you again and again, because you're exceeding their expectations and you're giving them a great quality product with a great experience. Okay, so that's number 2, customer obsession. All right, number 3 is going to be experiment. Okay, experiment. Now, you might not always have your very first product, might not always be a home run. It could be, but if it's not, don't let that hold you back from experimenting and trying new things. And so Jeff Bezos, in one of his interviews, I thought, again, was absolutely brilliant, is he says they're essentially the philosophy behind Amazon is to always experiment. They always want forward thinkers at their company. So by experimenting, with same-day delivery, drone delivery, fulfillment centers in the sky, which they actually have a patent pending for, it's crazy. That's amazing that, they're always going to try new things, because it's only by experimenting that you can find more value that you can add to any marketplace or to any sort of business. So if you're experimenting with different products, again, maybe you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Maybe experimenting to you as an Amazon seller means, looking at what the frequently bought together list is, something so easy, and reverse engineering that and bringing, a bundle to the marketplace, an upgraded bundle to the marketplace. That's a small tweak, but you already know what the customers are wanting because you're seeing what they're buying in adjacent markets. So you can use that data as a gold mine for your Amazon business and experiment with bringing high quality products in bundles and bringing new ideas to the marketplace, right? Experiment. That's absolutely brilliant. Okay. All right, number 4, long-term vision. So long-term vision is one of those things that really defines an entrepreneur in general. So Amazon's been around, over 2 decades. And what that's telling you is that Jeff Bezos was able to see light years ahead of anyone else. They haven't really made any profit for their shareholders, and he's literally found a way to convince his stockholders that they should put profit as secondary and focus on expansion and focus on customer obsession, being different and supplying amazing customer service, right? So when you're starting a business, especially on Amazon, once you start making sales on a couple products, it's very easy to succumb to, having money and you're thinking, now this is money I have to spend. However, if you can take a little bit of knowledge from the world's richest man, Jeff Bezos, and see, okay, what they're doing is they're taking their surplus of capital and they're reinvesting it into their company, because the faster you can reinvest your net profit back into your business, the faster it's going to explode. I have no idea what I just said. The faster it's going to grow. Okay, so reinvesting into your business is part of thinking long term. Okay, growing an actual brand on Amazon with products that you can, with niches that you can easily dominate in, are really going to separate you from your competitors, right? Instead of focusing, strictly on cash flow, you're focusing on building a real brand on Amazon. So you have to think long term. Will people continually buy my product in 1 year, in 2 years? Will they need other products related to this specific niche, immediately or in 6 months? All of these things you need to have in the back of your mind when considering, okay, investing in your future by thinking long term. Okay, reinvesting the capital and putting it back into your business. It's like you're feeding your baby, essentially. So long-term vision is absolutely brilliant. Now, number 5, expansion. Okay, so this kind of feeds into number 3, which is experiment. But Jeff Bezos really has a knack for expanding his company, right? You know, Amazon is now across Europe and Asia and in every major country at this moment, and you're really starting to see, you know, the bigger picture on a macro scale. What Jeff Bezos is really trying to do is be the everything store for the world, right? He's dominated the everything store in the US, but now he's trying to be the everything store worldwide. And he's applying those same philosophies and principles with customer obsession to the entire world. And that is absolutely brilliant, right? He's expanding Amazon. And so what this means to you as an Amazon seller is there are more marketplaces where you can now offer your amazing products to. And there's so much potential to continually grow products, because you can dominate not only the US market, but you can also, if your product is doing extremely well, now expand into Europe. Now put adjacent products in the US and adjacent markets abroad. And so part of expanding is you really have to think long term. And if you're getting into any sort of business at all, you really need to think about how you can reinvest quickly and expand your product line, not only in the US, but also abroad, okay, in Europe, in Asia. And there is so much opportunity because these are still newer markets. So the opportunity is essentially unlimited, right? So if you can discipline yourself and you're investing in your product line and potentially looking to expand into Europe, you're essentially partnering with the world's richest man, So that's not a bad deal, partnering, you know, with the world's richest man at one of the world's largest companies. Okay, so expansion. So, you know, these are just 5 lessons. I really thought they were absolutely brilliant from the mind of Jeff Bezos. You know, I've watched hours of just interview after interview. Just hearing him talk, I'm very fascinated on how he thinks. And so I wanted to bring something concise to you guys that you could adopt and apply them into your own life and in your own businesses, okay? And so essentially, again, if you want to look at the Jeff Bezos papers, if you just go to Google and type in Jeff Bezos letters to shareholders, you'll find a ton of PDFs where you can download it for free, and you can literally see the progressions of where they're experimenting, thinking long-term, expanding their products, expanding the marketplaces, obsessed with customers, and also looking at frugality to drive innovation, okay? So I hope you guys love this video. Don't forget, I do have a private group. We're a close-knit tribe, so if you go ahead and click, there's gonna be a link below this video where you could actually join the private group. It's both for newbie sellers and, you know, advanced Amazon sellers. And, you know, we exchange ideas. We're a close-knit group. And I also do post a lot of free content exclusively in that close-knit tribe, okay? So I hope you guys love this video. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video, give me a comment below, give me your thoughts, and let me know what you think. And like always, guys, I'll see you on the next video. Take care.